Hi, my name is Caity. I go by Chachi Cait on the internet because I don't want people in real life to find me. I'm turning 24 in 2 days. But this will be uploaded when I am 24, so hey, I'm 24. Ever since I turned 20, I started to absolutely hate my birthday and hate growing up and hate getting old. And this year I decided to look at it differently and be like, okay, how can I enjoy my birthday and not be in a terrible, terrible mindset the whole time? So I wrote out 23 things that I learned in year 23 of me. And 23 and me, oh my god, that's funny. I'm obviously gonna start with sunscreen because it is summertime in Western Michigan. Also, that's literally a black pimple, but it's not a blackhead. So you tell me what that is. Just kidding, it's a blackhead. 21 things I learned. 21, I'm not 21. 23 things I learned at 23 years old. Okay, pause, wait. This is not just what I've learned at year 23, this is what I've learned in my whole 23 years of life. Okay, let me clarify that because I think I said it wrong. Number one, don't dull your voice, don't be silenced. My whole life I have always been the one to speak my mind and get in trouble for it. Always been the one with a big mouth. I've always been told that my mouth causes problems and that I'm so mouthy and blah 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 blah. Looking back, I'm like, okay, was I kind of disrespectful at times? Absolutely. However, I do not regret for a second sticking up for myself, my family, my friends, anything. 2, it's okay to change your mind, and it's okay if it makes people upset. I'm gonna sound like a Karen, but we are so conditioned by the school system to make up our minds immediately. The age of literally 9 or 10, they sat us down at computers to figure out our future. Huh? It's okay to change your mind, and it's okay if it takes a while to get where you're going, and it's okay if it upsets people, because you ultimately have to do what you have to do for yourself. Number 3 comes from my cousin. At the end of the day, you're the one who has to sit with yourself, so you might as well do what makes you happy. It's from my cousin Amber. And it started when I started to tell her that I want to get my septum pierced, and I'm nervous because I don't want my boss to like be like, you have to take that out or blah blah blah, because he already like said something about my tattoo once. At the end of the day, you're the one who has to sit with yourself. 4. This one is real. No matter how much you think you know someone, you really don't. I can't tell you how many times that I have been like that person would never do that, or that person would never say that, or that person has my back, or blah 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 blah, and then it turns out I'm like, oh shit, they did do that thing, or they would do that thing. People are always growing and evolving, and no matter how much you think you know someone, you don't. That one's the only negative one on my 23 list, so 5. I love this one so much because year 23 has been the absolute hardest for me because I am nearing my mid-20s and I still feel like I have nothing figured out. Nothing. Number 5 is slow progress is still progress. It's okay to go with the flow, and it's okay to go with the slow. Say it again, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay to go with the flow, and it's okay to go with the slow. We are such human beings nowadays. What? Human beings nowadays are always in a hurry. We look at downtime as something negative and not something positive because we're like, oh, well, we could be doing this, or I could be doing this. At least I do. And slow progress is still progress, man. If you made your bed today, that's progress. If you brushed your teeth, that's progress. This one is more so for, I'm a believer in God, but I'm never one to make somebody else believe in God. So whatever you believe in, whoever you think created you, whoever you think is guiding you along this path or whatever, blah, 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 blah. When you start to get stressed, angry, sad, or feel like life just sucks, shift your focus back to God, or whomever, whatever. There's been so many times where I have been so upset or anxious or stressed or just overwhelmed, and then I'm like, wait a second. Let me pause. Let me talk to the homeboy up there. Let me get it good and going again. And for me, it works. 7. Everything happens for a reason. It could be a bad reason, a good reason, or seem like it doesn't make sense. But it doesn't need to make sense to you. This goes back to number 6, kind of like a spiritual kind of thing. I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. There are some circumstances where you're like, how could that possibly have happened for a reason? Why would that need to happen? The one thing that I like to tell myself is it doesn't need to make sense. Not everything needs to make sense. As long as you know that whatever happened, there's going to be something somewhere at some point where you can realize like, oh, okay, that had to happen for this to happen. What? Oh my god! I wrote 24! I did 7 twice. Okay, well I guess I'm doing 2 number 7s. This is just a little quote I found on Pinterest, so you are exactly where you need to be, because if you were supposed to be somewhere else, you'd be there. I love that one. I love it. Number 8, just because you don't see anything happening doesn't mean God isn't working or your manifestations aren't coming true. A lot of faith and belief and manifesting and spirituality is needing to have faith in the unknown, and that's scary for a lot of people because a lot of people need that like tangible like evidence that, you know, but just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not working or it's not there. This one comes from my mother. She has said this to me my whole life. Number 9, it is what you make it. That could literally apply to anything in your life. You make it how you want to make it. If you go in with the expectation, something being weird or gross or awkward or stupid, then that's the outcome. It's kind of like, you know, your thoughts manifest. Number 10, this one applies to me and to me only. Well, no, but it's okay to be a homebody. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to be an introvert. You are one step ahead of everybody else by already loving and embracing and appreciating your own presence. You know, I'm a homebody. I like to be alone. I like to not do anything, and that's okay. It's taken me a long time to be okay with that. It's okay to be alone. 11, FOMO is fake. FOMO is literally fake. I don't care what anybody says. If you're secure where you're at and who you have and what you're doing, there's no fear of missing out. There's always next time. Obviously, to an extent, FOMO is real. Okay, take it with a grain of salt. Number 12, pay attention to who you are and how you feel when you don't pay attention to anyone else. I absolutely love that. Where the hell is my brush? When you feel good and when you feel content, pay attention to who you're with and what you're doing, because that's what you need to be doing. And pay attention to how you feel when you don't pay attention to anybody else. I'm trying so hard in my 24th year of life to not care so much about what people think. It's gonna be hard because that is literally all I've done my whole entire life. But yeah. 13, say I love you while looking in the mirror. That shit changed my life. I heard that from an influencer. She said that she told herself she loves herself in the mirror every single day, and I was like, that is silly. There's no way I can like look at myself in the mirror and say I love you without laughing, but I needed to hear it. And you do too, I know you do. 14, you don't know anybody an explanation for your thoughts or your decisions. You don't. And you don't need to explain yourself for every situation. I mean, you know, to an extent, right? Like, you know what I mean? 15, how to not take things so personal. If someone doesn't have the same values, morals, or beliefs as me, why do I care so much what they think? Here's an example. I have a family member who I love dearly, but has kind of got a big head and they think they're better than everybody else, and they kind of put their opinions out there for everybody to hear. Not once have I ever taken it personally, because I know that her and I don't have the same values. We don't have the same morals, we don't have the same beliefs. She's on a different wavelength in her brain than I am. I hope I explained that right. I don't know. I read that in a book. 16, sometimes it's okay to sit back and be quiet. There's always a time and place to speak your mind, but read the room first. Think, is this worth my time, passion, and energy? If not, move on. That kind of goes back to the first one I said, you know, but you have to like be like, is this worth my energy? Is this gonna come across, you know what I mean? There's one thing, this is not on the sheet, but I always say, there's one thing being a bad bitch, and there's another just being a bitch. And we want to be bad bitches, not a bitch. You know what I mean? 17, this, I've never been in a committed, fully lovey, love relationship. You know, kind of being the one who's always watching relationships opposed to being the one in it. I have a very good outlook on how love should be. 17 is love should be easy. Obviously, yes, you're gonna fight. There's gonna be hard times that you need to fight through and fix, but love shouldn't be a battle for you. It should be easy. Period. I'm gonna not read number 18 out loud just because that one's... But hey, I did write 2 7s, so there you go, there's still 23. 19, if it makes you happy and it's not hurting anyone, do it. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times people were like, why are you spending your money on going to that concert? Why are you doing this? Or why are you making YouTube videos with your cousin? Why are you making a podcast? Like, you're not gonna go anywhere, blah, blah, blah. It makes me happy. Am I hurting you? Am I physically harming you or emotionally harming you? No? Okay, leave me alone. I'm having fun. I'm doing what I want. Number 20, this came from my therapist. I've always had a really hard time loving my physical appearance. Always, probably will always have something in me that wants to fix something. Or I was like, I don't know how to go about my days without thinking about how I look. And it's not like a conceited way of saying that, right? It's like a concerned way, like, oh my God, do I have a hair out of place? Do I have this? You know, what does my acne look like right now? She said, you need to start leading your life with your personality and how you make others feel. Worry about your appearance second. I need to start leading with my personality. I am a very bubbly person. I like to talk. I like to like make you laugh, whatever. So when I lead with that, that automatically makes me more attractive, in my opinion. Or makes you more attractive if, you know, like it makes sense. Number 21, I may not be for everybody, but I am for somebody. I have not found that somebody yet. But I mean, honestly, we were talking about jobs when she said that. Jobs, relationships, friends, whatever. You're not for everybody, but you're for somebody and you're for something. 22, it's okay to rest. It's okay to have downtime, or it's okay to slow down and recognize rest and relaxation. That one is so hard for me. I'm always feeling like I need to be doing something or go, whatever. We need to rest and we need relaxation, and we in America need to prioritize rest and relaxation way more than we do. Okay, number 23. This is the biggest one that I've learned, and I learned it this year. The 23rd thing on my list of 23 things I've learned in my 23 years of life is you don't need to have everything figured out all at once. Stop trying to work things out before their times have come. I can't tell you how many times I've lost sleep or ruined situations with anxiety and stress about trying to figure out the outcome of things that I have no power over. I wrote this on a piece of paper and stuck it on my wall because I literally, my brain can't stop. It's always got to be thinking about what to do and blah, 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 blah. That goes back to rest and relaxation. When I realized and like really truly realized that I don't need to have everything figured out right now in this very moment, I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, man. Do you know how much pressure that feels? You don't need to have everything figured out all at once. Stop trying to work things out before their time have come. So that was my 23 things I've learned in 23 years. My birthday is something that I have dreaded for the past 3 years. And I'm excited to turn 24 and to not be upset about it. And to not be upset that I'm getting older. Even though I do have a lot to work on and work through and figure out and come to terms with up here, right now in this very moment, I feel good. So that's what I'm gonna focus on. I hope 24 is not as hard as 23 and that we really are more mindful and don't care about what people think, and that we are ready for new things and embrace it, and even if we're afraid, we do it anyways. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe so I'm not a flop. Happy birthday!